Hey, it is me, Tiff. Happy Friday. I took the advice of my friend, and he mentioned that if you want to play videos on Facebook with music in the background, Google non-copyrighted music. You'll find lots. I finally found some. I just took a few extra minutes to do that today before I did this video because I wanted to play some music in the background. Know what I'm saying? It's just really low, so I don't have to like yell. So let's get this show going. Are you ready? It's the Polar Express of Faith. I believe. And kind of a summary of what we've talked about this week. Excuse me there. Not trying to make fun of anyone. I just love the accents, and I know I just totally probably messed that up. But I love my UK friends. I love my Texan friends. And I love my people that live in Atlanta. Excuse me just a second. Can't talk. Can't talk to my daughter right now because I'm on the phone. Sorry. It is Friday. I am going to invite some folks. Let me. Hey, if you're there, say hello. I want to hear from you. Where are you watching from? Is this live or are you watching the replay? And also, how's your day going so far? You know what? In the comments, type in what your favorite day of the week is. I may do a live on that because I think what people put down says a lot, you know. But I'm not a counselor or a psychotherapist, whatever it's called. So I just know that there are certain days of the week that people look forward to the most. Other days of the week people just dread, like it's the plague. So if you are one of those people, it's all right. So I'm just inviting some folks because you never know who's on. How is your day going this far? Type it in the comments. Let's hear it. You know what? If you could be anything, you know what? If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go? If money was no object, where would you go? If money wasn't an issue, where would you go? Let's hear it. All right, I think. There's no words. It's funny, I received a message about the song I played this week at the beginning of my video, and I was like, okay, you know, there was nothing honestly terrible about it. So there we go. Oh, let's see. All right. So give me just one quick second here. Oh, hey, Sean. Hey, how are ya? I'm going to wave at ya. I'm going to shut my back door because there's a big, like, garbage truck that is totally loud. And, all right, so I want to drive in a message today about faith. I wanted to encourage people to start believing for what they want I've been hearing a lot of people talk, and there's two things that come out of their mouth. You can hear that they are speaking faith, but you can hear the doubt behind it. You can hear the anxiety behind it. You can hear that there's not a 100% belief factor there. And I've told people, as I've learned, if you can't speak faith and worry in the same sentence, because it's just not going to work. You can't plant seeds of faith and worry in the same bucket, because the worry is going to choke out the faith. So it's either, or vice versa. I mean, you can try to put faith in with worry, and faith can choke out worry. But in all honesty, in my experience, a lot of times what we focus on, if we're focusing on worry, that's going to trump, no pun intended there, that's going to trump over the faith. So we have to be very careful at the seeds that we are planting. And so I wanted to talk about the Polar Express of faith. And that just came to me this morning. I was dropping off my son, and all of a sudden I was looking at a car and I heard the words, "I believe." And excuse me, I thought, where on earth? So I'm learning about all this awesome stuff, and I'm putting it to practice in my own life. But those two words, "I believe," came to my mind. And I remembered the movie, The Polar Express. Do you remember that movie? I'm going to go into that a little bit. It's where the kid, he gets on the train, and he doesn't believe at first about Santa, and then he gets on a train, and there's like this story on his journey to the Polar Express where he meets Santa, finds a bell, and then doesn't, after that he, believes. But it took a lot for him to believe that Santa was real in the video. Anyway, and so I won't go there in this video because I know people might, about Santa. So, planting seeds of faith, what does that look like? So, you know what? Come with me here. All right. I'm going to have this. I need to have this as my, what's it called? Hey, Farah, how are ya? Beautiful friend. Nice to have you on here this morning. I am grabbing a mulch pot. I planted some seeds this week on Wednesday. I first planted sunflower seeds because sunflowers actually represent joy. Joy equals what, one of the fruits of the Spirit that God gives us, and the joy of the Lord is our strength, and joy trumps grumpiness. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I planted some seeds, and then in the afternoon I planted some vegetables, green beans, cilantro, jalapenos. Oh, and I forget. Anyway, so I planted these seeds, right? Well, I had a choice. I could, when I planted them, spoken things like, "Oh man, you're never going to grow," or, "I always kill things," or, "I just can't do this correctly." I could have planted that seed in with the seeds as I, put the soil in and the seed and then the water, right? But I chose by faith. By faith, I planted the seed, and I spoke life over my plants. I spoke that they would flourish. I spoke that there would be sprouts. I spoke that they would grow to their beautiful fruition that they're supposed to grow to, to reap the good fruit that's going to be growing from that. And my sunflowers, I'm excited because of what they represent. So I'm not gonna, buy all the sunflower stuff to put in my house. But, I mean, they do sell the fake ones right now because of the fall season. And so I may have to get some of those because just to keep those, in my home. But again, I don't want to buy something that I don't necessarily need. So that's why I bought the seeds. But little sunflower seeds, they're not like the big sunflower seeds that you actually eat. These ones are little miniature tiny seeds that sprout into beautiful flourishing things, and by faith I planted those, and by faith whatever I planted is going to grow. I just have to by faith take care of them. I have to by faith water them, right? I have to by faith speak life over them. I have to by faith continue taking small action steps, right? In order to, hey, Miss Jonna, how are ya? I have to keep taking action steps daily to nourish my faith sprouts, the seeds, right, that I've planted. It can go the opposite, but it's going to be bad news bears that way. Okay, so On that note, faith requires something that we do every day. Requires that we do something every day. Even though we can't see what the end result is, we push through and we take action. I'm going to tell you something. I used to do this too, and I talked about it yesterday about the inconsistencies of eating and gaining weight and losing weight and working out, and I wasn't consistent in doing the business steps that I needed to do, and wasn't consistent and compared myself. That was just a horrible thing. But it's taking action every day, having a goal, having your desired result, right, which is like the bullseye of things, right? I think you know what? If you will excuse me, I'll show you. Do I have it in this one? I think I do. I'm sorry, you'll have to excuse me. I had it in here. Anyway, I was going to show you a bullseye, so you'll have to forgive me for that. But we have to have a plan of action every day. We have to have goal. We have to have a vision, right? We have to have, here it is. There you go. So I wrote down here several weeks ago about having a bullseye, right? Which is your vision, your dreams, your goals, right? If you don't have that, you need to create a bullseye. You need to create something that you can stare at every day. I've told you my friend's story, who's actually watching, which I appreciate him coming on. And I have his book, The Winning Edge, which is amazing. But you have to have, hey Lisa, how's it going? You have to have something to take action steps towards daily, right? Like you increase your faith by reading God's word, right? That's an action step. You increase your faith by hearing things that uplift your faith, right? That like people like motivational speakers who can uplift you, like Stephen Furtick. He's an awesome pastor. Les Brown. He is a Christian man, but he is one of the top sought after speakers out there. Google him, put him on your Spotify playlist. I guarantee. Eric Thomas is another one. My friend who's watching, it's another awesome guy. Danny Johnson is another one. John Maxwell. You got to feed your faith, right? You got to starve everything else that conflicts with faith. It's just not going to work. Okay, I feel something because, man, I got goosebumps. Ready? All right. So we got to push through and take action every single day. I shared with you just yesterday, I shared the story of how prior to coming on board to something that I have been getting results in for a year, prior to signing up for that, I knew that I needed skill sets in speaking. I knew that I needed better skill sets in communicating, because I said yesterday in yesterday's video that when I would speak, it was almost like I was talking, squirrel to them. They didn't understand a word I was saying. And I was like, am I speaking a different language? I don't know any Chinese except ni hao, and I don't even think that's Chinese. But anyway, so it felt like I was speaking a different language, and because then I would have to explain myself. So if I have to explain myself, that's frustrating. So I made a decision. I stepped out in faith. I took action, and I signed on for this awesome speakers club. Man, you guys got to be a part. Why do you need to be a part? Because you got to sharpen your skill set. You got to keep your skill set sharpened. And I'm grateful. And each week I show up. Each week out of faith, I am learning things. Each week out of faith, I am applying what I am learning. Last year when I signed up until this moment of sitting before you, my coach and teacher, which a lot of you may know, Mike Almeida, he shows up. He shows up because he has a heart, because he wants to add value to our lives. But we show up because we as a group, we want to get better. Hey, Dwight, how's it going? And we as a group take action weekly, and we use these skill sets daily now when we communicate with people. And my communication has gotten better because, excuse me a second. Who is it? JMO, everyone's at school, sir. I'm doing a video. Excuse me. Hold on. Excuse me a second. You didn't go to school today?
No, because I slipped my finger open with a razor last night on accident.
Oh.
I was trying to open a bath bomb.
Oh.
Because there's like this pumpkin bath bomb, you know, yesterday was the farmer's market. We went to the Bath and Body Works, and then I got a bath bomb, and then I tried to open it with this eyebrow trimmer.
Oh.
And then I slipped my finger open.
Well, you're more than welcome to come in, but I'm on Facebook Live right now, and there's people watching. But if you do come in, you have to be quiet, because Michael's sleeping, okay? And if you'd like, here, there's some books you can look at. And since you're staying here, excuse me just a second, I have my other son, if you will, here. Here you go. Here's some books. And here, look at these, please. I'm going to do my video. Make sure, I don't want to get you in the video without your mom's permission, so just stay on that couch, please. Okay. All right, so where I was, thank you for bearing with me here. And all right, so I was talking about taking action steps daily to utilizing the class that I've invested in. It's an investment process, right? I have been investing in my skill set, and because of that, I am starting to see the fruit of that. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Miss Vicky, how's it going? Right? So I'm taking action steps. I'm not just planting that seed of, yeah, I need to get better and you know, just sitting here watching it. No, I'm nurturing it. I'm speaking to it. I'm actually speaking. I'm getting in front of people daily. Pretty soon I know I will be getting in front of actual people to go over settling business with them. I'm going to reap the fruit of that. Why? Because I believe. So somebody say, I believe, or type it in the comments in all caps. I don't care how you do it. Please type in the comments right now, I believe. It all starts with belief. If we don't have belief, we aren't going to go anywhere. We will not move off the chair. We will not move off our couch. We will be stuck by fear. We will be paralyzed. Excuse me, fear and faith also do not go in the same bucket. They don't go in the planter. So whatever you're going to feed is going to flourish. Whatever you're going to neglect is going to die. Keep that in mind. So I talked about the Polar Express, right? Has anyone seen the movie? It's a movie where this, kid, he didn't believe at first about Santa. He took action, right? Then he takes action, and Tom Hanks is one of the main characters, and it's pretty cool. And then he goes on the train, right? The Polar Express, and they get to the Polar Express, and he goes through some things, and he then sees for himself Santa Claus, and then he sees for himself that, Santa is there, and then he also finds a bell, right? And he picks it up and puts it in his pocket. Well, then he believes because he sees, right? It's the evidence of things, it's the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So he didn't see Santa before he went on the train, but it was the evidence of what happened when he exercised his faith. He actually saw Santa get on a sleigh and take off, okay? So that's the movie. I like it because it has singing in it. I love songs. And I love when children sing. It like literally pulls my heartstrings, literally, and I kind of tear up, and it's just cool. Herald angels sing, never hear a sound. So then belief set in for the kid, right? All I want when Christmas comes around. There we go. That's the song. One of the songs I love. But, as I just said, unbelief. When we sow seeds of unbelief, we won't travel far. In fact, here we will get exactly what seeds we are planting. So as I demonstrated on Wednesday, planted some sunflower seeds, did that. I did that while I think I had you on the video, and I had let you know. So it's pretty much whatever you're sowing in this pot is what you're going to reap, right? You reap what you sow. So if you're going to sow unbelief or lack of faith or everything else that's negative, right? You will get exactly the seeds that you plant. You're going to reap them. It may not come right away, but in time, it will come to fruition. So we have to be very, very careful with what we are entertaining. I picked back up this business that I laid down, that God's like, you got to pick this back up. So he did, but it seems like now is the open door opportunity. See, it was about 4 years ago that I had started checking into social media, and I wanted to be a social media manager, to which one of my previous bosses looked at me, and I asked him for feedback prior to me leaving the job, because I got laid off, and I like feedback, so I wanted to know things I needed to work on so I could work on that. That's actually a job domination tip I learned. So I asked him, and he goes, well, you just need to work on Excel, and you just need to work on your math, because math and I just don't mix, period, the end. Every answer is elephants and purple roofs and gumdrops, plus you get 5x to the y squared minus z equals a room full of happy bears hugging Charmin. Okay, that's the answer to math. And so he said, but you should be a social media manager. And the funny thing is that literally the night before I had just watched a webinar on how to be a social media manager. Now, I could have sat there and sat on it, but no, I took action. I planted seeds of faith. You know what I did? I looked up how to be a social media manager. I looked at the webinar. I took free webinars. I even invested in a social media boot camp, which I still have. I don't share it with people because you have to invest in it yourself. If I shared it, then that would be copywriting. I don't do that. And so that would be the wrong copywriting, you know? And so, so now, because I have taken action steps and the faith, and I do things daily towards that, I can now look at a social media page and I can see what needs to immediately be done to address how to help that page grow. Meanwhile, I'm working hard to grow my page as well. My personal Facebook has grown. It has, but I have a business Facebook page, and so it is growing also. But I have to take steps daily out of faith, so I can water and nurture that faith and help it to flourish, or I can condemn it and have it die. Like I can start saying things that would take out the belief, that would take out the faith. So on that note, sometimes we just have to stop and we have to just celebrate the small achievements or sprouts we've achieved, because this will keep us on track to win, to keep going. See, I can sit here all day and compare myself, and which would lead to killing my sprouts, squashing my sprouts, and not letting them grow. Or I can take action steps daily, step out of faith, and get the rewards from that. So I only share this because this week, and I posted it on Facebook a little bit ago, but this week is the first week I have seriously, confidently, and courageously stepped out and offered my social media coordinating skills to a couple people that I know. I did it this morning and I did it the other day. In return, I got serious answers, because I mean business. Like, I am here to help companies grow. That's what I've said. So now it's time to, as my friend said in the prayer videos this week, it's time to collect that fruit that I've planted. All the seeds I planted along the way, I'm collecting it. I'm going and I'm going to go harvest. I've got my harvest gear on, and I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to put it out there. Why? Because I know that I can do it. I believe. So I'm speaking those words of faith, and I'm nourishing what I have planted. Here we go. I'll leave this here if you can see that. I just wanted to share that briefly with you all. This week I just kind of want to wrap it up, but we've talked about finding out who we, excuse me, let me get a drink of water. So, before I start wrapping up, I just wanted to share with you, I wanted to ask you, what seeds are you planting? What What do you need to nourish? What do you need to flourish in your life? It could be in any area of your life. It could be relationships. It could be parenting. It could be work relationships. It could be, learning new skills. It could be anything. What do you need to flourish? What do you need to neglect so that whenever you plant a seed, it's going to grow into something amazing? Let me show you, right? It will grow into something amazing and beautiful, because when you take care of it and when you speak life over it, it does great things, right? So as I wrap up, I want to just give us a quick summary of what I've talked about this week. I've talked about finding out who we are, our true 100% authentic self. I've talked about planting seeds. I've talked about consistency. And today, just to mix it all together, faith. Because now you get to have an action plan. It's the end of the week. You've heard some amazing stuff. If not, go back on my wall, or I have a YouTube channel as well that I have been recording all these videos, which I need to upload, I think yesterday's and after this today's. But I have a YouTube channel. Go subscribe, please, and then share it. Not just to hear my voice, but because people need an encouraging word, because you never know where people are at, right? Amen? So, belief, the Polar Express to faith, which is, it then gives you belief. And, to put all that together, to get the evidence of what is not seen. So I planted a seed, right? I have to nourish it. I have to flourish it. I have to feed my faith and starve the doubt, not talk about that nonsense stuff, that tries to come over us when we are doing something. I have to believe with my whole heart that a little sprout is going to come through and I'm going to get what I planted in here. So I pray y'all caught that. The evidence of what is not seen. I may not see the sprout, but I'm believing in my mind that this is going to happen, and I'm believing and what I've planted will come to fruition. Okay? And faith. Faith is what pleases the Father. You don't have to be religious to have faith. There are many people that I know in all walks of whatever religion they are. Doesn't matter. People walk by faith not realizing that it is a concept that God created, because without it, it's impossible to please Him. I speak passionately about God because that's what I believe. It's not to condemn anyone. It's not to, be mad at anyone. I don't care. Whatever walk of life you're in, it all points back to Him anyway. So that's what I'm just a messenger, planting seeds. But faith is what pleases the Father. So you can think of faith as this way. There's a long way to use, to keep, or have faith. There really is a long way to use it. Long way is to keep being inconsistent with it. Whatever you do, just step out in faith, because God always meets you. He does what you can't. Just step out in faith. So you can go the long way, which is being inconsistent and doubting and all that stuff and talking all that other stuff that just doesn't back up your faith. Or you can just hop on the Polar Express of faith and just do it. Just do it. Do the thing already. If those of you are waiting for permission to step out and do whatever the thing is that God is calling you to do, or maybe you're afraid to speak, maybe you're afraid to do a Facebook Live, maybe you're afraid to, start a business that's been haunting you in the back of your head because God's like, hey, this is what's needed in your community. I've been there. That's why I've actually gone through with what He's given me, and I've started a business. Yes, I have. My business is called Social Cues. I'm going to add coaching with Tiffany. I don't just do coaching, but social media, coordinating. I also help people write resumes, give them the skill sets, the tools that I've used. I've used them. I've gotten great results with them. So I am going to turn around and lead others and teach others and get this community moving towards flourishing. That's what I see, and I believe it. So just do the thing already. And let's celebrate along the way feed our faith, starve our doubts, neglect our fear, and just jump. So that's all I got for you today. I pray that you are encouraged and uplifted, and that today goes amazing, far more amazing than maybe you've not had a great week, maybe you've not had a great month, but today is the end of August. Tomorrow is the beginning of September. So starting tomorrow, actually starting today, I'm by faith going to keep planting seeds, and I am going to go and collect every seed and crop that I've planted, because God's like, it's time. I'm done talking about it. I'm putting things to action, and I'm stepping out in faith. And that's just what I'm supposed to be doing. So please share this video, because you never know where people are at. Haley, how's it going? If you're just now coming on, please go back and watch this from the beginning. There's a lot of meat in here. I'm going to come at you on Monday with the Monday Mindset Motivation at 10:40 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. These are the times I'm doing my videos now, so please follow. Joe, how are you? How's your day going? So please follow so that you can see when I'm on. I may... Actually, 10:40 a.m. seems to be the right time, because that's when people come on. People start coming on around this time as well, but that's okay. I'm just going to be faithful and keep doing what God has called me to do. So keep planting amazing, awesome, faith-filled seeds. Starve the doubt, starve the fear. Get that out of your vocabulary. Don't even entertain it. The moment you start speaking it, stop. Kill it. Kill the fear. Take action steps daily, and I guarantee you, you will see the fruit of it. I guarantee you. Yeah, you're going to start seeing the fruit of that. So, faith. I love you. Have an awesome weekend, but don't and join me back on Monday morning at 10:40 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be here, keeping it real with Tiff. Have a great rest of your day, and I will come at you Monday with a live video. All right, bye.